You're listening to Real Talk Texas with local expert Steve Hakes. Now, here's Steve.
Welcome back to Real Talk Texas. Today, it's a pretty exciting day for me because I love the downtown area. I love the urban living side, and I love working in uptown area. And we've got the honor today of having Clay Stapp of Stapp and Company, and Clay Stapp and Company. And you can find his website at claystapp.com. That's Clay, STAPP.com. You can go to his website, check him out. He's got a great group of people that are really focused on the urban market. On Real Talk Texas, we really try to find experts for different areas of your life, whether it be a trust attorney or things like that. If you're a listener out there, I really try to find people that are experts, and we vet them out to make sure they know what they're talking about before they come on the show. And we've really found a real expert for urban living and in the Dallas marketplace. And Clay, we're grateful that you're here.
Thanks, Steve.
One of the things and maybe you can help me. I'm 53, and I know I'm not your target group of uptown, downtown living, which is really the 20s to mid 40s, but I still think I fall into that a little bit. And because now I'm an empty nester and I've got free time, and I've been trying to talk to my wife Dana into moving downtown for some time. So Dana, if you're listening, I'm not giving up on it. So one of the things I want you to kind of talk to me a little bit about. Okay, I do know one thing. My oldest son Scott lives in Uptown. A lot of his friends that are from Ohio and different places that we've lived, and he's meeting a lot of people in downtown that are moving into the city. And we know in this marketplace, and we've talked about it before on the show, that we're going to go from just under 7 million people in the Metroplex to 12 million people by 2030. And I think a lot of that's going to happen not only in the suburban areas, but in the urban areas. And I see a lot of construction. And I really want to take this segment, Clay, and talk about, okay, what's the draw? What's the lifestyle? What's going on that causes people to consider moving downtown? Why is it coming back, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think you're right on. There is a big draw to uptown, downtown, and in-city living. Not only the demographic of 25 to 45, but also empty nesters. They do comprise a bit of our business. We talked a little bit about it in the first segment, but people are just so busy these days. They work so hard, typically 10 to 12 hours a day, making a lot of money. They don't want to spend a lot of time in a commute, an hour each way. So we're seeing a lot of people come back towards the uptown, downtown area. They want to be really close to bars and restaurants and places that they like to hang out. So really, I think that's a big driver in the lift that we're seeing here in Dallas. And you're exactly right. With the number of people that are going to be moving to Dallas over the next couple of years, developers are taking note of that, and they're really trying to build up the urban infill. And I think we're just going to see these areas get better and better.
I see a lot of what we call now the Texas State Bird, the cranes that are downtown and building all the new places, and it's hard to figure out whether they're going to be condos, apartments. I know there's options downtown and uptown, and I do want to ask you a little more specifically about, okay, there's different areas of the urban living, and we want to kind of talk about the different flavors of those areas. You talk about new developments. Let's start with that. Okay, what's going on? What's exciting?
Yeah, it is exciting time right now. For the last 3 or 4 years, you really saw no development going on, and here over the last 6 months to a year, you are seeing those cranes. And a lot of what's going up right now is apartment type living. Around West Village and around Uptown, they're building a lot of apartments. A couple of developers have gotten back into the game. Excuse me. The Stoneleigh Hotel, they're back working on that. So I think as time goes on, I know a lot of developers are gearing up and going to be building things, and it's exciting there. Talk a little bit more about other areas of town. Lakewood right now is a really hot area. They've got great schools over there. There's not a lot of inventory. Any new listings that we put on the market in Lakewood are getting snapped up quick. And people like it because it's pretty close to White Rock Lake. Again, great schools, and it's somewhat accessible to quickly get to downtown. Uptown, we've talked about a little bit, just a highly desirable place for young people and empty nesters to live. The Deck Park I don't know if you've been over there, but it's a beautiful park, and it's packed all the time. You have the new museum, the Nature and Science Museum. That's a big attraction. So Uptown's going to remain strong, and people are going to continue moving here. If you're moving from out of town, you may not be familiar with Kessler Park in North Oak Cliff, but if you're interested in a type of landscape that's a little more rolling hills and not so urban, but is still really close to the nightlife of Uptown and Downtown, all you have to do is go across the bridge and you're right here in the middle of it.
So you kind of get a suburban feel in the urban area over there, I think. I've been by there.
Yeah, a lot of people who live there, they have the feeling like they're living in Austin, but in Dallas.
Tell me a little bit about M Streets area.
Yeah, the M Streets area has always been a very popular neighborhood. What we see is a lot of people, living in Uptown. They've been single down here and they're getting married, maybe thinking about having children, and they'll move to the M Streets, Preston Hollow. Again, trying to keep it local here to inside the 635 loop so they can quickly get to work or, anywhere they're going to have fun.
And the school districts are good?
Yeah, in M Streets, you have Stonewall Jackson, which is a very popular school district. But outside of that, you see people going over to Lakewood, like I mentioned, and a lot of times people are gearing to get into the Park Cities because ultimately the Park Cities has the best schools from kindergarten through high school.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. What about high-rise living or mid-rise or townhouses and things like that? Now, let's talk about not just the areas, but what about the types of homes? I know that in M Streets it's typically a single-family home, and some Lakewood's single-family home. And we can talk about that in a second too, because I really love Lakewood. I think it's a great place as well. Yeah. But tell me about if I were looking to move into a condo, high-rise condo, or something like that. Well,
the high-rise condo is really based on your lifestyle. If you're working hard, you see a lot of doctors, lawyers, accountants, professionals. They want to go to work and come home and not have to worry about doing any yard work or maintenance. So the people that are making money and want that easy lifestyle, those are the type of people that I see moving into the high-rise condos. Empty nesters as well. Same thing. They like to travel a lot. They like to be able to pack up, get out of town quickly, and come back and the condo be there waiting for them, and someone greeting them at the door and welcoming them back home.
Yeah, that's. I keep telling Dana, and I've just always wanted to have a doorman to just say, "Good morning, Mr. Hakes. How was your day today?" Or "Have a great day." Or at the end of the day, when I drive up, I talked to a good friend of mine that lives in the arts building over there, and he said the greatest thing for him is when he calls down for his car each morning, and he gets in the car and the Wall Street Journal's in his the seat next to it, a hot cup of coffee made the way he likes it. It's right there. It's just that, I guess it's just that kind of like they know your name, you feel like you're home, and you feel like somebody's there helping to take care of you. Yeah. And I think as an empty nester, I mean, we've been taking care of our kids our whole lives. It's kind of nice to have somebody take care of you.
Exactly.
So and hopefully you're at a point, a couple more years, Courtney, you'll be out of school, and we'll be able to afford to do that, and instead of paying all the tuition costs. But anyway, want to get on to let's talk about the availability there. And one of the things, we've had several people on the show. We've had Metrotech's Board of Realty officers on. We've had some other real estate agents on. What do you? If you were looking for a place, is it is there good inventory out there that I could see, or is it very tight? What's going on?
Well, the inventory is very tight. We're quickly seeing the pendulum swing back from a buyer's market more into a seller's market. There's just not a lot out there, so it's a little bit more challenging. But I think it's the buyers that we're working with, they're a little bit more motivated. We're seeing multiple offer situations on homes, and we're even selling some of our listings before ever putting them on MLS. There's enough agents out there with active buyers that, all we have to do is pick up the phone on a new listing, and a lot of times we'll get it under contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you're listening out there, you're listening to Real Talk Texas. We've got Clay Stapp of Clay Stapp and Company in studio today. He's our expert on urban living in Dallas. And I'd like to put an offer out there. So if you're listening, grab your cell phone real fast. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to type in this number, and you're going to text our show. The number is 817-925-2546. That's 817-925-2546. And all you have to do is text buy, rent, or sell, any of those things, and we'll put you in touch with Clay and his team, and he can really help you narrow this down. And it sounds like you've got the inside track on a lot of the urban living here, so it may be a great place for you to start if you're listening out there, whether you live in that area and you're getting ready to sell your home, or whether you're thinking about buying and moving into the Uptown area or downtown, M Streets, or any urban living in Dallas. So just reach down, grab that cell phone, 817-925-2546. That's 817-925-2546. And just text the word buy, rent, or sell to that, and we'll get you in touch with Clay and his team. We'll be right back after the break with Clay Stapp of Clay Stapp and Company. He's our real expert today on urban living in Dallas. So thanks for listening. We'll be back with some more information. In the next segment, we're going to really dig deep into what it costs to live downtown. So stay tuned.